Did a U.S. Navy fighter jet fall to enemy fire? Or something far more shocking? Just weeks earlier, at the height of rising tensions in the Middle East, the unthinkable happened. A U.S. Navy F-18 Super Hornet was shot down over the Red Sea, triggering immediate speculation across the military world and beyond. The incident occurred near the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, a critical maritime choke point where global oil, commercial trade, and naval presence collide. In that narrow corridor, hemmed in by the coasts of Yemen and Eritrea, warships, drones, and missiles cross paths in a high-stakes game of cat and mouse. The first whispers pointed to a familiar adversary, the Houthis, the Iranian-backed rebel group in Yemen, infamous for their aggressive use of drones, cruise missiles, and ballistic projectiles targeting Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and more recently, U.S. warships. With American naval forces on high alert and air missions being conducted daily from the USS Harry S. Truman, the assumption was immediate. The jet was hit by enemy fire. The Red Sea, once again, had become a war zone. The Super Hornet had barely left the carrier's deck when it vanished from radar. Moments later, a fireball lit the sky, followed by reports of 2 pilots ejecting at high altitude. Navy rescue helicopters scrambled to the area, locating the aviators floating safely under their parachutes, shaken but alive. Images surfaced online showing a distant trail of smoke and what looked like a mid-air explosion, fueling speculation. Some media outlets declared a confirmed Houthi missile strike. Others claimed it was a technical malfunction, or worse, a case of friendly fire. No group claimed responsibility. No launch footage surfaced. And the Pentagon stayed quiet. The military community waited for answers. But in war zones like this, answers don't come easy. The Houthis, officially known as Ansar Allah, have evolved from an insurgent group into a regional proxy force, largely armed and trained by Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Their arsenal now includes Quds 2 and Quds 3 missiles, loitering munitions, and anti-ship cruise systems, many capable of reaching targets hundreds of kilometers away. In the weeks prior, Houthi forces had already launched drones and missiles toward commercial and military vessels in the Red Sea, prompting U.S. forces to intercept multiple threats with SM-2 and SM-6 missiles. In theory, the Houthis could have downed a jet, especially one flying low and vulnerable after launch. But no missile trails were tracked from Yemeni territory, no evidence of enemy radar locking onto the Super Hornet, and no signs of an infrared-guided hit from the ground. Doubts began to grow, and then came the leaks. Rumors started pointing to the USS Gettysburg, a Ticonderoga-class guided missile cruiser operating as part of the carrier strike group. The Gettysburg, equipped with the Aegis combat system, is designed to identify, track, and eliminate aerial threats, particularly incoming cruise missiles and aircraft. But in chaotic, cluttered skies, even the most advanced systems can fail. Internal sources claimed the cruiser's radar misidentified the Super Hornet as a hostile target, possibly due to electronic interference, IFF malfunction, or sheer human error. The Aegis system, relying on flawed data, authorized the launch of an SM-2 surface-to-air missile. That missile locked on and struck the friendly jet, bringing it down before the crew could react. The truth was devastating, and on February 4th, 2025, the U.S. Navy made it official. It was a friendly fire incident. The Gettysburg's commanding officer was relieved of command. A formal investigation was launched, and the Navy pledged a full review of procedures to prevent future tragedies. The F-18 Super Hornet isn't just any aircraft, it's the backbone of U.S. naval aviation, capable of air superiority, strike missions, and electronic warfare. It features multi-band radar, infrared suppression systems, and identification friend or foe transponders, and yet none of that mattered in the fog of war. The Aegis system is fast, designed to detect, decide, and destroy in seconds. But when sensor input is flawed and targets are misclassified, even that split-second decision cycle can turn fatal. In a conflict zone crowded with drones, missiles, decoys, and dozens of aircraft, all operating within a small airspace, the margin for error narrows to almost nothing. Beyond the loss of an aircraft, this incident raised deep concerns across the Pentagon and NATO allies. How can U.S. warships avoid misidentifying friendly aircraft in real time? How reliable are automated kill chains in high-pressure scenarios? Are human overrides fast enough to prevent catastrophe? Perhaps most worrying of all, if a Super Hornet can be taken down by an ally, what does that mean for joint operations with foreign militaries or coalition forces? Where trust is fragile, accidents like these can turn into political disasters. In the weeks surrounding the incident, U.S. Navy forces were actively engaged in defensive and offensive operations in the Red Sea, intercepting multiple Houthi drone and missile attacks aimed at commercial shipping and Allied vessels. Warships like the USS Carney and USS Mason launched dozens of SM-2 and SM-6 interceptors, successfully neutralizing airborne threats in real time. These engagements marked some of the most intense naval combat actions the region had seen in over a decade, turning the Red Sea into an active high-risk war zone. Both pilots survived. One sustained minor injuries and was quickly medevaced to the carrier's onboard medical bay. But the psychological toll, the sheer realization of having been shot down by your own fleet, is incalculable. A $70 million aircraft was lost, but more than that, confidence was shaken. This wasn't a failure of courage or training, it was a failure of systems, protocols, and real-time coordination in an environment where seconds determine life or death. In war, the enemy is clear, but sometimes the danger lies within. A jet lost, a near tragedy, a lesson paid in full. Thanks for watching. Did you know about this incident? Were you surprised by the Navy's confirmation? Let us know in the comments, and make sure to subscribe for more untold military stories, battlefield breakdowns, and real-world defense reports.